Hey y'all, welcome to episode 258, where today we're going to do a deep dive into items we picked up to sell and why. I have people ask me all the time, why did you get that? How did you know? What made you, your eyes go to that one item and the whole shelf of all? So I think it's time that we each talk about, we can share some of our sales and talk about why we bought those and what they sold for. And,
Great.
some are successes, some are fails, y'all. I mean, do we get it all right all the time?
Hey y'all, welcome to Consignment Chats. This is Molly, and I'll be joined by my co-hosts Libby and Samantha.
I wish.
Right?
All
But
right.
we do well. We do well. So we're going to break it down and give you some of the inside scoops, the tactics, the things that go through our minds, each one of us, which will probably be a little different because none of us think alike across the board. Why we pick up items and what we look for and all those good little secrets.
Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking I've done auction hauls on Reseller Reflections. I have currently a carload now, which by the time this is released, hopefully my haul video will be up, where I show you what I picked up, what I paid for it. And, I want to go back and revisit that and show you like what were the fails and what were the successes when I pick up, because I bet about 70% of what I pick up, because a lot of them are lots of things are fails. Maybe 30% are good.
Yeah, for sure.
For an inside scoop into what Molly and I like to thrift and pick and do, go to our sister channel, Thrift Find Flip. I officially posted a video there, so now I can say I post there too.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You did what? Woo!
We got like 5 views, so it's doing well. There we go.
All right, this is good to know. We're going to get Libby's haul videos over there too, and then boy, will we be booming.
I know. It's so interesting to know. Like, I love watching what you guys pick up. I don't watch a lot of haul videos or, thrifting videos, but I love to see what you guys pick up. And I always learn something. It's so cool.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it, is what you learn when you watch them. And that's why I love watching them, because I learn different things. And I still you learn things, but you're still you, and you go to things that pull your eyes,
Right.
Like I've learned a lot. I never paid a lot of attention to board games until meeting Samantha and learning so much about board games from her, and that there's value in them out there. And so, now we do look at board games more, when we're with her, we look at them and go, here, Samantha, here, this is for you. But when she's not here and I see something, I pick it up for us, right? Like I just shared on our live this past Wednesday a card game that I was like, Samantha, we think we have a bolo that you're not aware of.
It's true.
And she had never heard of it. It was a card game that Nick played in his childhood. And, as we talk about reasons you pick things up, sometimes you pick things up for nostalgic reasons, just because it pulls at your heart and you don't care what the resale value is. You just want to save it from that pile of crud and take it home and hopefully give it a new home. And this particular card game was that for Nick. He goes, I'm not confident. It's just a nostalgic pickup. And I'm like, all right, you do you, boo. And sure enough, within a week it sold. And you got rid of that? No, here it is. I'm going to share the image here. This is a most recent one that sold. We paid $2 at an estate sale. It sold for $35.10. Now, this is the third set of these Mealborn card games, because the first one Nick picked up for nostalgic reasons sold for $40-something in a week. And then this is now number 3. Every time we see them now, we pick them up. And as I was telling people, the beauty about them is you never pay more than $2 at an estate sale for them.
Right.
Because they don't know. They're just like, oh, it's a card game. And so we paid $1 for 2 of them and $2 for another one. And the one we paid $2 for was actually sealed still. It was brand new. And I think we sold it for 50-something. So yeah, I mean, you learn so much when you watch those channels. Some things I learned.
I'm
Go
hoping
ahead.
to learn from our audience because I took a lot of video, but I didn't pick up a lot of stuff. And I'm hoping that they see it and they're like, even as I was doing the voiceover and watching it all and putting it all together, I was like, oh, that Native American thing on the left was cool. I should have looked at that. Like,
Right?
yeah.
I do that every single time.
In that video, I literally was editing the video and I had grabbed a manual for boat motors or something. I had grabbed it. I remember thinking, I'm going to comp this. I put it back on the shelf. Bill called my name. I comped it in the video.
Oh, no.
We're just going to have to watch the video. You're just going to have to watch it.
No. I feel this
so
is a fail.
I got at the auction yesterday. I mean, literally, they laughed at me, like the guys standing around, because it was like box lots, like dollar. I got a vintage heating pad, which I know have been historically like a bolo. So I hope they still
house fires.
Oh, I thought it yet. Okay. But they were like, yeah, like they would never pick that up, and like everybody was kind of laughing about it. I'm like, well, I'm gonna laugh all the way to the bank, guys.
Amen.
But I didn't let them know. Talk about auctions for a little bit, because that's something we don't do a whole lot of deep diving in, because most people are thrift stores or estate sales, right? Or yard sales. Talk more about that auction process and your decision making, because I think it's cool, the lots and things that you get.
Yeah. So like basically that, like our strategy is we generally, like, I'll go from the beginning to the end, but the magic happens at the end when all the collectors get tired and leave, because it's generally pretty crowded. And that's when the magic happens. That's when
the magic happens at the end.
Happens at the end. But
wait a minute, I'm feeling some kind. Hold on, I gotta write that down. I'm feeling some kind of T-shirt coming out at some point.
It takes some stamina to last that long. But yeah, so I think that's like a really good strategy, and it depends on.
It takes a lot of stamina for the magic to happen at the end, you guys.
I was like, gosh darn it. All right. I'm just gonna gloss that one over.
Yeah, you knew Samantha was not gonna gloss that over at all.
I was hoping. Then I saw the look on her face.
And friends, please buy us a cup of coffee, because we are no longer monetized on YouTube.
Who would have thought it would have been me, right?
Right? Libby, I know. Samantha, yes. Molly, most of the time. Libby, never.
Okay. Anyways, the ends of the auctions are they are the best. I do not care about getting there in the beginning and because those are the collectors. And I've even talked to the auctioneers, and they're like, we do our coins in the beginning. We do our, up here it's fishing lures. They do all that stuff that the majority of those people are there for. And then they start to trickle out the longer it goes on. And when you're 3-4 hours into the auction, that's when you got the true like 10 people that are left. And I want that box of random stuff that most of it is going to Goodwill or junk or whatever. But what kind of treasures are in there?
You'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, all right.
You got to watch the video that Libby's going to link up after she gets it done. Yeah. So here's the opposite. I mean, like Samantha was just saying, like that's the end. All the good stuff's at the beginning. But to me, estate sales are just the opposite. Like in an estate sale, when you see those bangers that you want, you need to get there early and be one of the first in the door and get to that banger, because people are rushing for that. It's a totally different feel when you do an estate sale than an auction sale, right? Totally different feel.
Oh, so I can give it. I have one of my examples is this picked up at an estate sale in Denver that Joe from I'd Flip That talked our way into the basement. Had all
I never saw those. I love them.
So that just sold on Etsy before we came on here. I mean, $35. I'm pleased with that. Yeah. So that was a good example of that. Like, right, be the first one there, and talk yourself into, or bring Joe from I'd Flip That with you.
Bring
And,
Joe. He'll get you into the
yeah.
basement. I mean, how many people's houses, strangers that you don't know, that you're like, hey, can we go to your basement? Usually we don't recommend going to people's basements that you don't know.
So funny. Then Joe picks me up from the airport that night and he's like, I got us into a basement. You want to come with me? Maybe. And it's like 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, right now? Like, what do y'all do in Colorado? This is weird.
She was picturing her plane going in reverse. We're out.
Yeah.
See ya. Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I like auctions then, as opposed to estate sales, is because I can barely make it to this, and this is in my house. So that's why I don't want to go to estate sales and be early to those. That's crazy. That's crazy.
So I love it, but I will tell you one thing I have learned, and the only time that I did not, and I kept trying to talk myself into it, I didn't allow it, is I try not to get in that headspace of, I got to get it. I got to be the winner. I got to be there first. I got to get there. I get there early. And my mentality is, if somebody is there ahead of me and they're there for the exact same thing in that house that I'm there for, and they get it first, I wasn't meant to have it. And there'll be more. Mm-hmm. And so I try not to get into that whole like competitive, because there are people that get in there and get nasty. And I just don't, that's not fun to me. That takes away the fun. So I do go sometimes early knowing I'm going for something specific, but and there have been times, I mean, even the story with my friend Trudy that we've talked about in past episodes, she went for something particular, got in the door before us, but we got it first because Nick got to the room before she did. Now, when we did this, we did not know her. We weren't beating her there to take it from her. Because of this incident, we became friends a month later when the stories came out. But, Nick went to a particular room for that particular thing. And just sometimes you go and you just happen to get to that room that closet is in before somebody else took a left and you took a right, and you just, you were the correct way to go, because you don't know where you can look at pictures and kind of try to figure out, okay, that's a basement, that looks like an attic, but you don't really know. And you ask, we've asked, but when you ask, everybody's standing there and then everybody knows, the Christmas is in the back bedroom. And so then people in front of you that want the Christmas are getting it before you. So it's really best to go with a good attitude of, there is so much stuff, and you might miss those shiny bright ornaments this week, but there's going to be more shiny bright ornaments coming up. So
and what happens, your friend finds some at an auction and sends them to you,
and your friend finds them at an auction, and then lo and behold, they show up at your house.
Aww. And I mean, you have to go with an open mind too. If you have too much of a tunnel vision for that stuff, then you go in and you're like, I got to get to this. You might miss the stuff that you didn't know was going to be on the table halfway through, because a lot of times watching your guys' videos or hearing your stories, you were heading to that one thing, but then Nick saw this other thing that was shiny, and then you started looking at that, and it turned out that was a better haul than the blanket you missed in the back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like they share all the pictures so you can do some looking and deciding and finding things. I mean, that's how we found that Ralph Lauren the polo Western vest that was a banger, that we went specifically for that and the blanket, and we could figure out kind of where they were, and we did get those. But you do miss stuff. They can't, even if they put 365 photos in their estatesale.net listing, they're still not getting everything. And
how many estate sales have you been to where you're like, you hear them say, the owner found this other box today and we had to hurry up and price it real quick and put it up all the time. They're so like, they opened up a secret closet we had no idea about.
There's the one video on Thrift Find Flip. It makes me laugh because Bill at Happy Camper, I was asking him pricing on a piece that I got that sold. But it didn't have a price on it. And so I was like, Bill, and in the video you can hear him, I'm like, Bill, how much for this? And he goes, let me look at it. It's like, how about 5? And I'm like, I'll do 5. And he goes, she's upstairs and she just keeps bringing stuff down.
Yes.
So the homeowner, it was like a partial estate sale, like a, And so she was upstairs, didn't want to be downstairs, but she was upstairs apparently going through closets and deciding, I don't want this. And then she would just go down and put it on a table and go back up. And so he was like, stuff keeps appearing and it has no price.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I think that the lot, if you want lots of things, and lots are a lot of fun. They are like the treasures that you find. I mean, I think we've all bought lots of things and then found out that there was a banger in there that we had no idea was even in there. Like you find the treasures, you find some junk. My thing that I'm trying to do now with lots is when I go through them, don't waste time on the chintzy stuff. Just put it back in the donate pile and move on. There's too much good stuff in there to hem and haw over the chintzy stuff. Like just get it out, move it on. And I'm trying to be better about that part as opposed to, but somebody, no.
So Jill, shout out to Jill from Rusted Truck oh my gosh, Rusted Truck Relics. I don't know why I had an issue with that. Jill last night, and it was part of her accountability goal this week, she listed she called them junk drawer lots, but really she had like this box of like the stuff like that where she would go through things and it was whatever this thing. And she lotted those up into bags and now has some bags of random stuff listed that she didn't have to put a lot of thought into, stuff that's been sitting around, or she cleaned out, things in her office. And I can't wait to see how that goes for her. I don't know if it's a great business move. Could be terrible. Could be fantastic. I don't know. We're going to watch her. Go look at her store.
Yeah.
This is interesting. I like this idea.
Yeah. So I did that when Avery and I went to the North Carolina auction. There was something in a lot, and it was like pens, pencil, like it was literally a junk drawer, but there was something in there I wanted. I forget. So I took what I wanted out of it and I did a junk drawer lot. It was awesome. It was so fun to auction that off. I didn't make, I think I made like $15 or something, but that was just going and donate. Like I was happy to make that $15, and obviously somebody was happy to have it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That junk.
For sure.
It's fun.
So I know that we talk about like some of these things like on estatesales.net or on some of the yard sales that are coming up and they post pictures. You can do pre-comping on stuff. But people ask me all the time. In fact, recently on one of my thrift find flip videos, somebody asked, how did you decide that was, and Vanessa of Brightest Holidays has asked me before, I want to know, like, what made you pick that out of that whole rack of, so I want to talk a little bit about that and tell people, because I know it can get frustrating when you're watching others' videos and thinking, how did they do that? Like, I would have never picked that out. I would have never, how do they know that? And what I want to tell you is, one, keep watching the videos, because that is where you do learn things. And like I say, sometimes I learn things that I don't want to sell. And then I learn things that I do want to sell, because some things I'm like, that it's just not worth it. And so you learn a lot for that, like where you want to be, where you don't want to be, kind of thing. But you also learn, shout out to Frizzy's Finds. If you want to learn about what the big brands are for clothing, she is by far the best at showing you labels and telling you the resale value of those items. And she is very much on the up and now trends of clothing, both men and women's. So I learn a lot from her. But I have always been one that's a touch and feel. I go through, like, if there's a pair of leggings, I am touchy-feely. If there's a rack of leggings, I don't look at every label. I just kind of touch them, because you know what a good quality legging feels like versus a Walmart quality legging. I mean, there's just so I will pick them up, and if they feel quality and that good legging material, then if I don't know the brand, I will comp the brand. Same with clothing. Like, sometimes I just go in and I know I'm looking for, I call it artsy fartsy clothing, like the artsy fartsy brand tunics that are, they're just, I wish I had a picture of one, because I saw one not long ago and I didn't put a picture up. But sometimes you just know the quality you're looking for. Liz of Frizzy's Finds is real good about going through every hanger, and I don't. it would wear me out. I wear myself out already. If I went through every hanger, I would go bonkers. I just scan, and if I see a pattern or a fabric that draws my eye, then I pick that up and look at it. The other thing is to quick scan the labels, because the newer, higher end labels are typically the new style is those larger, bolder labels. I should have put some images up here to share, like Frank and Eileen, and you can tell the newer labels are just a different type of label and quality now than what they were. So those I always look up. But yeah, I go through touch, feel, quality, and what visually attracts my eye. And I've had somebody say, why did you walk away from those duck boots? Well, because when I picked them up, they were from Target. They weren't LL duck boots, So you just kind of know, and you can look at like shoes. When I go through shoes, I can do a shoe shelving unit in Goodwill fairly quickly.
I love to watch you do shoes, because like if I've even done the rack before you and looked, like you go through and you find stuff. I'm like, why and how?
Yeah.
So I like to be on the opposite corner of the store, and you guys can have the clothing and the shoes, and I'm over in the hard goods, not even anywhere near any of that.
Yeah. I think you just, you learn, but I think the biggest thing to look at is quality. I mean, I can pick out a pair of Freebird boots off of a bottom corner shelf pretty quickly. And I got Nick when we went to the largest Goodwill in North Carolina, which is how I always like to say it, the largest Goodwill in North Carolina. And in the bottom corner, I was like, oh, honey, because he was next to it, not me. I go, grab those boots down there. And he's like, where? The ones down at the bottom corner. And he goes, these? And I was like, yes. He was like, how would you even know that? And I said, because I could tell by the leather and the sole of the quality of the sole that I thought they looked like Freebirds, and they were. You just learn, and and there's a difference between good leather and not good leather, and good stitching and cheap stitching. And over time, you will learn that, and you will learn those fabrics, and silk,
and especially
cashmere.
I've seen the good tags, the good brand, the good 100% cashmere. But if someone didn't take care of it properly, you have to touch that item. My niece, I think, was with me the one time, and we're flipping through racks, and she goes, Aunt Sam, and she grabs the hanger and she shows me this sweater, and she's like, cashmere, look at this. And they clearly had like dried it and shrunk it, and it was terrible. And it was, oh my gosh, it was so bad. It was so bad. And I was like
that's great for your American Girl doll.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So here's what and you guys have been with me to know the way I do it. Nick, when we go sourcing in a thrift store, I take the cart, I put all the things that catch my eye into the cart. I don't spend time comping stuff at that moment. If I know it's something I'm interested in, I put it in the cart. And then at the end, we have a come to Jesus moment. We find a corner or a place to sit, and we go through every item at that point. And we look through it for holes, make sure all the buttons are there. There's no ring around the collar. The armpits look good. The zippers work. We comp any home goods or brands that we're not aware of at that point. And we just immediately, we go through everyone, and we're like, take back, keep, take back, keep, take. And that's what we do. So
I'm all about that. I'm all about that in the bins, but not so much in the thrift store. But I don't get as much stuff as you guys. You guys really do load down a cart. And then Libby and I are over in another aisle saying, if we go over there and ask her that, she's going to make us start comping stuff. And then we forget that we're mic'd up, and she hears the whole conversation later on.
That was
First of all,
that was terrible.
First of all, I never make anybody comp. I might ask if you'd like to comp. But then we have sweet friends like Vanessa, again, shout out Vanessa Brightest Holidays, who comes over and says, do you need me to put anything back for you? And I'm like, oh, really? You're like the sweetest friend.
So
Samantha and I are hiding. Vanessa's like,
so much nicer than us. Yes.
It's more like, well, if you'd like to comp these, we can get out of this thrift store in under 4 hours.
That's true.
But
that's true.
That's okay if you don't.
You do you, boo. You do you, boo. I'm good. I'm good. So yeah, so I think there's different thought processes for every type of sourcing you do. I think obviously, as Libby said, with auctions, lots are good and lots are fun. Now I have gotten lots at estate sales where, because I have, and I'm not saying they wouldn't do this with anybody, but I have built relationships with the owners that when I see something and it's, for instance, pantyhose. There were tubs of vintage pantyhose, brand new.
Mm-hmm.
And they had them priced, I think, at $2 an egg, because they were the legs, $2 an egg. And I was like, I am not going to go through these and do this, because there was 1.5 buckets of them. And so I found my buddy Bill and I said, listen, I need to ask you about the pantyhose because they're $2 a piece. And I go, no. But what if I bought all the pantyhose? What are we talking? Can I get a good deal? I don't have time to sit down and go through it. I don't have the energy. I just want to take them. And he looks at this helper guy, his employee, and he goes, hey, grab those and go put them on the table. Don't worry. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then when it came time to check out, he was like, how's 40? And I'm like, good. That sounds good.
Right.
So you can get lots, and I've done that before. I've done it with greeting cards, vintage cars, car parts. Yes, you can wheel and deal on lots at estate sales, but it's typically like items, whereas an auction, you can get some real random stuff together in a box. It's like a treasure hunt, y'all.
Love it.
I know, I do too. So
I came home with some artwork one time, and my husband's like, you don't buy artwork. Like, why do you have this? And I'm like, well, because the boat anchor was with it. And he's like, what? What are you?
They were together.
They were together. I really wanted the boat anchor. So I have some different reasoning for some of the stuff that I thrift or source.
Yeah.
Oh, do tell.
I have an addiction. My name is Samantha, and I love to puzzle. And
hi, Samantha.
Welcome.
I love to puzzle. So I pick up puzzles, and I normally like make deals with people. Like, I'll pay $1 a piece. I'll take the whole table of them or whatever, much to my husband's dismay. And I will bring home 20 or 30 of them at a time. Now my consigners know that I can't go and buy puzzles because my husband's put a limit on that. So they consign puzzles with me, and it's great.
Wait a minute. Do you know what we call those in this group? Those are enablers.
Oh yeah, I love
because
them.
You are hi, Samantha. I have an addiction, and now they're like finding a worker. Oh.
They're the best consigners. They're my favorite. I list their stuff first.
They need to go to Puzzle Pal Anon.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So the puzzles don't sell for a lot. I mean, that one, nothing crazy. This one was 22. Yeah. So nothing crazy, but I get to put them together, and then I list them, and then I say, oh, a puzzle sold. I get to go buy 5 more. And then my husband says, no, that's not how puzzle math works. But I think
wait a minute. So for every purse that I bring, every pocketbook or purse that I bring in the house, Nick makes me sell 2. So how do you get to sell 1 puzzle and get 5? There's something that's not.
Bill actually told me today that I need to look in my inventory and see how many puzzles I have listed, and we need to create a goal of how many puzzles I need to sell before I can buy more puzzles. But I also bought one over the weekend, so yeah, I snuck that one in there.
So what happens? I have no one to control me. What happens? I go and I to the auction and I bought a chair.
Yeah,
I was not doing any more furniture. I was going to say, let's get rid of it all. I got no.
Hey, y'all, seriously, Libby went on this whole thing about no more furniture and literally listed Facebook Marketplace. There were a couple of weeks there where every day it was like, oh, I got to run. I got somebody meet me to pick up a chair, a table, clearing all of it out. We were so proud of her. We're like, doesn't that feel good? Yes. And then
we were.
Last night at Reseller Reset,
I confessed.
We got a confession.
There are just things you can't. For whatever reason, I have a real problem with chairs and furniture. Like when it's going for so low, I just
So here's my thing. Instead of beating yourself up about it, put it behind you so we can all enjoy the beauty of it.
I'm going to.
Unless it's fugly, then we don't want to see it.
It's well, you'll
Different-
see it. You'll see it in my video. Yeah.
So enjoy it, list it. Don't beat yourself up about it. We sometimes source things for the joy that it brings us. And that's that. And that's okay. That's one of the reasons why we love what we do.
What was your motivation for sourcing it? Was it because it brings you joy, or is it because you know you could get good money for it? Like, why?
It was, I know I could get good money for it. It was inexpensive. It was cool looking. It was, and I just couldn't resist.
It was a combination of,
I knew I shouldn't, but you get caught up in the excitement, and all of a sudden my auction number was up.
I'm going to call your dad and I'm going to tell him you have a problem and you're encroaching on his part of the garage again. And then we'll put an end to that real quick.
right? There you go. There you go.
There, that could be my control. Yes.
All right. So I put a few images of things that have sold recently, and I thought we would share them, and then we would talk about like why to buy it. Like,
Yeah.
what was my reasoning behind it? So
as usual,
where did I buy it?
I got to throw a little wrench in the works here, and that's not exactly what I'm going to do. But it is going to help. It is going to help. All right. So I want to show you guys this because my mom for many years, 40 years, had a hair salon and recently was clearing out like all of the product and stuff like that. So, and I mean, we've had this happen with other stores, all sorts of retail things. And I was like, well, I don't really do that, but yeah. All right. You know what? Let's do it. So, you know, this, the hair color, we lotted it up. I still have some left. And yeah, I've been selling, you know, shampoos and hair color and all sorts of stuff.
Why don't you read that, what it was and what it sold for our podcast?
Oh yeah, for our podcast people. So it was a lot of 64 Redken Color Fusion hair colors, new natural balanced shades that sold for $349 plus shipping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I've been selling, you know, capes and like, so sometimes like with somebody like they literally had nothing to do with this stuff and didn't want it to go to waste, like combs, like everything, like
right.
all the stuff. So sometimes when some places, you know, going out of business or, you know, liquidating, it's a really good source of inventory. And maybe it's not exactly what you do, but I'm so glad I did that.
I mean, those Redken curl, whatever it was, you had a Redken curling product.
Oh yeah,
those sold.
Yeah,
those sold so fast and for so much money, it was crazy.
Oh yeah, they sold. It was, I think originally they were like you bought them retail like $20 or something like that. It was just a thing of curl defining, I don't know, hair cream or something. I don't have curls. I don't know. But anyway, it was a discontinued product and people went nuts for it. So it was sold for like $90 some a bottle. I had like nine of them unopened. Like that was crazy. My mom was freaking out, by the way. Oh my God. Because she put like the retail price on everything. And I said, Mom, that doesn't even matter. Like you have to look at what it's selling for now. And she's like, really? You're going to put like a $90 price tag on that? I'm like, yeah, I am.
She had no expectation for any of it. Like it
right? Like, this is a sought out discontinued product, honey. This is like,
so that was super fun. And so, you know, look at
they sold in
like
what,
that.
a couple of days? Sold in a couple of days. Some people bought multiple. I was like, what is happening? It's all the notifications about like, oh my gosh, look at this. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to branch out or take a different opportunity like that because you're helping somebody else out and you're getting the sale. So
yeah. For sure.
All right. Sorry to throw a wrench in the works, but that's kind of sourcing and why I picked it out, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It is. I mean, we are consignment chats.
Yeah. we are. We are.
But we are for all resellers.
We are.
All right, I'm going to pop an item up here. This is a random item. This item, Retro Range Captain Jet Harrison Space Gun. It was new in the box at a yard sale for $1. Nick was determined. Now, it's not vintage. It just has that vintage appeal and look. But Nick was determined to get it. In fact, this may be one that Johnny of Frizzy Finds walked away from, and then Nick picked it up. It ended up selling for $27.20. And what I will tell you is a lot of times for those kind of things, if they're $1, $2, I do pick up the new in the box toys because they're easy to list, easy to ship, and easy to just stack like your board games, right? I mean, they're just easy to put on a shelf. So I have bought a lot of those kind of items at yard sales that I can get for dirt cheap. And, you know, when the holidays are coming or birthdays, people love to just be able to pick it up. So that one just recently sold. Somebody's getting that for Christmas. I don't know who. Now, y'all hop in and share anything you want along the way because I'm just going to pop. All right. This vintage LL Bean flannel bathrobe. Got this at the bins. I believe it was at the bins in Colorado that I picked this up. So a couple of bucks I paid for it. Sold it for $32. I pick up vintage LL Bean anytime, especially things like robes. They will sell. So
I'd put that on right now. I want it. So right? It's so cool. That looks so comfy.
Yeah. So vintage LL Bean for sure. Here's one I picked up at a yard sale, and I actually picked up two of these. There was this one and a clear one. The clear one sold probably a month and a half ago. I paid $1 a piece for these, and people were walking by them, and I looked at them and I was like, wait a minute, let me just look these up. And sure enough, they were Fenton, and they are little clocks, Fenton glass clocks that are iridescent. This is the pink. The white one sold probably within 2 weeks of me listing it, both for, you know, $40 to $50. This one was $47.70. And again, paid a buck at a yard sale.
Nice.
So look at glass. I am learning more and more about glass because I love glass for myself personally, but not all Fenton is good. Not all, like, you really need to look those things up. So people like to go, oh, Fenton, because there was a time when, yes, that was a thing, but now it's flooded. Now Fenton is flooded, and it's very specific as to what collectors are seeking. So those are the kind of items, unless you're paying $1 and you don't mind sitting on it for long term and you've got good storage, I would take the time to comp things like that. Now these clocks are, 3 inches in diameter, so storing them was no big deal. But I had also comped them and realized, oh, these are goodies.
These are goodies, which is like a really good point, right? Like if you see people, just because you see people walking by stuff at an estate sale or not paying any attention to that, and they're all rushing to one area, that doesn't mean there's not goodies. Like you're the expert. Like you got to look you have to look at that stuff. A lot of times the deals you're going to get are something that everybody has walked by. They don't know what they have. Yeah.
Well, and even sometimes I'll walk by something, but if my husband's with me or even you guys, and you walk by and you go, well, wait. And I took that as a sign the other day. I walked by something and then my husband came up to me later on and he's like, hey, this is, whatever. And I'm like, okay, yes. And he goes, you didn't even look at it. I said, I looked at it earlier, but I hemmed, I hawed. This is my sign that if you think it caught your eye and it's, then I need to add it to the cart.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes we don't have that feeling, the both of us. I felt that with this one. Oh, it's all, that is some brown flower mug. It says Gladys and like this very old, that mug sold for like, I don't know, $8 or $9 or something. But I picked it up. It was like $0.25 when I bought it. And my husband said, what are you doing with that ugly cup? And I said, it's beautiful and it's brown and these are the in colors right now. And somebody is going to love this. And he's like, it says Gladys. Like
somebody named Gladys is going
Gladys has been looking. Yes. Gladys has been searching for that mug.
There is a very nice Gladys in Ohio that now owns that mug. Aww. And I was so excited. I messaged her when it sold and I was like, my husband told me that nobody would want that. And I'm so glad that you love it. And so sometimes we do things that just make us happy. Yeah.
And personalized items. Let's talk about that for a second. Just because something is personalized. I mean, we sell a
Yes.
lot of things that are
Yeah.
personalized. I always think of Liz O'Kane of Colorado Reworn, and she had that
Pottery
stocking,
Barn. The
the
Pottery Barn, yeah.
stocking that was in, and I still remember the name. It was Lewicki.
Okay, I
Was
couldn't remember the name.
The name was Lewicki, I'm pretty sure, embroidered on it. And, like, so with that would never sell. It sold. Yeah.
For good
Nice.
money. For
For good money.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
guess what? Things aren't out there with Lewicki's name on it.
Right.
And when Lewicki finds that, Lewicki's going to buy it.
Gladys
You know what?
specifically told me that she could never find her old-fashioned named anywhere. She sounded
I
like she was
never
younger.
would see my name anywhere. You know what that
Yeah.
was like as a kid, where everybody was getting.
I was just getting ready to
keychains
say
and all
that.
stuff. I'd like never
Yeah.
once did I have anything that said Libby on it.
Yeah, my
Right.
brother
Unless
and
it was like a can of soup or something, or
Right.
can of pumpkin, Libby's pumpkin, right?
Yeah, because Molly, now you see Molly, but when I was a child, Molly was on nothing. I mean, my brother was Orion, so we would go to the gas stations and stuff in Florida on our way to Disney or at Disney looking for that keychain or that. And, I could find Mary, but nobody calls me Mary. They call me Molly. Now I can find Molly, but when you're a kid, it's disappointing when you can't find your name. But my cousin Susan, she had everything with her name on it.
Yeah. My cousin Amy had everything.
I had everything. It was super annoying. Samantha's everywhere.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? It's not right.
So think about poor Lewicki when you're shopping, and poor Libby and poor Molly. They can't find anything personalized.
Oh,
You find a
I
name
know.
on it, Gladys. Yeah.
All
Sometimes
right, I gotta share something that happened this past week. So
Okay.
we were I'm trying to think of where I just picked this up. I guess it was at a Goodwill. And I picked up this vintage mid-century modern Lefton. It is a toothpick holder snowman.
It is so
porcelain.
cute.
So the hat and all has little holes in it. And you stick the toothpicks all in the holes.
I would not have even known what that was for if I saw it. Like,
thank you, Google Lens, right? So there were several listed, and they were, $20, whatever. But I wanted it for me because I am doing my mid-century modern vintage room, and I just fell in love with this little Lefton snowman. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get it no matter what. But I think I'm going to keep it. And then this past weekend when we were listing, it was sitting in the crate with other stuff in this crate of Christmas stuff. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to list it, and I'll list it for like $39. And if it sells for that, I'll sell it, but I'll do offers. But if I can sell it for over 30, I'll sell it. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep it because I love it so much. And, it was not 24 hours later, somebody, we have the automatic offers that we send offers on eBay. And the offer was sent for, I don't know, 10% off, whatever. And it sold for 35 something. And I was like, that is so bittersweet. That is so bittersweet.
Sometimes you can't go by comps. So I have some items that I'm actually not going to share here because they're already all over the market, and I sell them for some reason, and I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to mess with it.
Yeah.
But my husband will watch me pick them up, and he's like, why do you keep getting those? Like, I don't. And now I hardly have any left. And when I look them up, there's so many for sale, and I price them higher and I sell them more often. And sometimes I don't know why we just have better listings. I don't know.
Yep. That's what I think it has a lot to do with your listings. It has a lot to do with your standings in eBay. Like, your feedback. Are you a power seller? Like,
right.
I think all those little things can come into account. Was it promoted? Was it not? I don't know. But yeah. I listed it high thinking there's others out there. Nobody will buy it. It's sold. My snowman is gone.
You just keep reminding yourself you were happy if it sold for that price. Just be happy.
Yep.
Can we talk about broken items? Do you guys ever pick up broken items?
Depends. I have in the past because the value. I picked up these little Danish wooden Vikings, and there were a couple that had issues, but when I looked them up, they were such collector's items that I knew it would be worth it, and it was. It was definitely worth having them broken. Somebody can fix them.
Dolls, I'll pick up broken dolls.
Oh,
much to Molly's chagrin when she sees the pieced out doll on our eBay store.
Yeah, they're like this
head is over here. It's got a leg over there.
It's where nightmares are made, y'all. It's where nightmares are made.
Are they still spirit vessels if they're not holding the spirit in? I don't know.
Right? That's
I don't know.
I picked up a broken toaster, and I could not. Where we were, I couldn't comp. And the guy that was outside manning this area of the rummage sale, he's like, I plugged it in, it heats up, but it's missing this piece and it won't move. It's one that you put the bread in like standing up on the end, and it goes through a conveyor belt. So
Toastalator. It's called the Toastalator.
Toastalator.
Vintage toaster.
Sold for $100. I had so many people message me and say, this is broken. Why are you, which said in everywhere I listed it, it said it heats up. It doesn't move. I showed lots of pictures of the broken plastic piece and I had so many people message me offers or get like mad at me because it was broken. Why do you have it listed so high? Why do you have it? Because there's not really any others out there. And if you want it, you'll make me an offer. And then it's sold for full price.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? That person that buys it knows how to repair it. And they have been looking for this forever. And they're like, I'll buy it and I'll repair it. So boom. Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, things are sold for parts all the time. I mean, I've got that Kodak camera I still haven't listed because I want to give one shot at trying to, if the lens is not retracting in. One shot at fixing it myself, and then I'm just going to sell it for parts because even at parts, I'm still going to make money off of it. But if I can give the time and get it fixed, I'm going to make a lot more money off of it. So I'm going to give it one shot. And then,
did you ever list those Dyson stick vacuum parts that you got over there?
Oh, no. All my Dysons that are in the garage that we have pieced together. No, I think I have 3 Dyson stick vacuums. That
Libby and I have specifically said, like, we would like a Dyson stick vacuum. We would buy it.
So I have mine. I have mine.
Would love one.
I have mine. I have my mom's. And then I have one that I picked up at a yard sale. There's 3 of them. But we have to get the batteries all charged. It just, we haven't taken the time. But yes,
I'll charge my own battery.
We have a mission next time we're at your house. Yeah, we're gonna go through the Dyson graveyard.
Dyson.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to share one more thing. Where is it? And then I think I want to share 2 more things real quick. One, I got these Pyrex. The Corningware Pyrex Amber Vision. I have sold so many of these pieces. Do not sleep on them.
I never picked those up.
Oh, girl. And the cranberry ones also. But you don't want to pay a lot for them. But this one sold for $69. Now get this. She had sent me a message wanting to know about shipping. This is a 4.5 liter Dutch oven one, so it's bigger. Mm-hmm. And she wanted to know if I could get the shipping down because it was on Etsy and da-da-da-da-da. Of course, I can't say you could always go to eBay, but but I just, went back through, double checked the measurements, the weight. And I was like, unfortunately, it is what it is. I can't, it's just. She ended up buying it the next day, even though I sent that message saying I couldn't get the shipping down. But not only that, she paid priority for it. So she ended up paying like $140 to ship it to her when she could have paid the ground. She paid priority for it. I was like, what the what? Yeah. Yeah, so she bought it anyway, and I sold it, my part of that $69, and I bought a group of them. I think they wound up to be about $5 each in the set of all of them that I bought. I bought a set of them and broke them up, listed them individually. Nice. And then this is why I say, lots, there's different kind of lots you can do when you are at yard sales and estate sales. Those amber ones I got at a yard sale. Okay. The other yard sale lot I got was, these were sales on Etsy, were the Hallmark ornaments.
Yes. I will always buy a box of Hallmark ornaments. I
Yeah.
see them all the time at garage sales, and I'm like, just how much for the whole box? Because it's so much easier to just go through them later on.
Yeah, yeah. So I've sold, this is not the only ones. I just shared two for those that are listening on podcast. They've sold for over $20 each. I bought a bunch of them. Now, I didn't take the time, and I've sold several. I mean, these are just two I'm sharing now, but I've sold several since I started listing them. I bought them at the beginning of, I think it was in the spring. Somebody had a yard sale. They had a ton of them, and I just filled a bag and said how much for the bag. They weren't doing a fill a bag, but I just said, can we make a deal? I have more than made my money back on them. I was not going to take the time to look up each individual style of, I just went with my gut. Again, y'all, go with your gut. And if you go with your gut and it's not a high price that you're using your gut for, you know, it's a couple of dollars, it's going to wind up being, go with your gut. And at the very least, you educate yourself.
I was gonna say, don't be afraid to make a mistake, right? That's how we learn.
Right.
Like we pick this up, oh, we think this is good. It's not, you know, if you're not spending a lot of money, I would say don't beat yourself up over it. Everything is going to be a learning experience. I mean, some of the the reason why Molly can pick out so many amazing things and so many bangers is probably because you picked out not a lot of them.
I've made mistakes.
Yeah.
And I still make mistakes, but I make sure that my business can afford the mistakes. And I think that's a big thing.
Right.
I have a budget weekly that I use for sourcing. And if I decide to use some of that budget to not comp something, then that's on me. But I know that my business can afford this amount of money that I spend every week on sourcing. And I don't go above or beyond that unless we're doing a workation trip. If we're going to Fifi's in Florida or something like that, we do. Sometimes I will not source for a week or two ahead and let that money stack up. So we have double or triple what we normally spend because we know we're going to go big when we go on a trip like that. But plan it and learn from it.
Go big.
Oh my God, they went so bad. I'm pretty sure they had to hire an extra person at Fifi's to help bring her bags out to her car. And I'm over here. I'm like, Nick, that's over budget. What are you doing?
I know. We felt so bad because, I mean, it took up, they have a long counter, 2 counters, but I mean, it is like 4 big jewelry counters beside each other. And then the counter with the cash register. That whole thing was filled. They had racks of stuff. And Nick and I are both helping pull tags, give them to them. There were like 5 of us going through this process. And I felt so bad. And the girl behind us goes, well, and I said, I am so sorry. We do this every time we go on a cruise, which is a couple of times a year. We'll come through and do this. And it's our favorite stop. And And, you know, she goes, oh, no, we manifested you this morning. And I was like, what? And she goes, oh, yeah, we manifested. She said this morning before we unlocked the doors, we said, we need hangers so badly. If people don't start buying, we've got too much stuff and not enough hangers. So we manifested you coming in and giving us all these hangers.
That's amazing.
I have chills. That's awesome.
I was like, well, here we are. Ta-da.
There you go.
So I'm glad she could find the positive in us wreaking havoc across the counters because it was crazy. But you know, you plan for those things. And that's the one thing that I say, we do get in the moments where we buy chairs that we weren't going to buy, or we buy something nostalgic that we don't comp. And it's okay. Just make sure your business can sustain it. Just make sure that you have a budget, you know where you are, and you stick tight to that. Because the last thing you want to do is spend a lot of money on stuff that you are learning from, and it hurts you financially in your business. Having a few here and there, educating, you pay for education, that's great. But just, you know, pay close attention. And that's what we really try to do. We try to make sure we pay. We do retail arbitrage a couple of times a year. We have a clearance outlet here for a big, what's the word I'm looking for? A big retail store. Department store. Thank you. And we are one of the handful of locations that has a clearance outlet. So I have a credit card specifically for that store only. I don't use it for anything else but that, because it will send you often coupons or 10% off, which then you're like, oh, well, that's like you're not paying taxes, or that's like you get this part free. So I wait for big sales, and we did that like Black Friday. I ran over there, and I, you know, knew in my head where my budget was, and I found some items, and I stuck with my budget. So
did we talk about this at all?
No.
Did you know this, Samantha?
Well, that's where you got all that Tommy Bahama stuff the one time, wasn't it? Was
Yeah,
that one
we've
of
gotten
the-
plus size. Well, I did Tommy Bahama at a Tommy Bahama outlet, and then we did some Tommy
Oh.
Bahama out in Seattle because we found some
Okay.
at a thrift store. But this is one I get a lot of I do get a lot of Hawaiian shirts there, but they had all of their high-end stuff for $39.99, which normally I wouldn't pay. But when I went there, I got a handful of stuff to give it a try. They had Johnny Was, which isn't as great, but still good. I may have bought myself a pair of Johnny Was pants. A beautiful Eileen Fisher silk dress. I mean, I got some stuff and it's listed, and we'll see what happens. But I paid up for it because in my budget, I knew I can, and I wanted to test this theory on these items because they are not marking these down like they used to. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot, and I'm going to spend X amount and get this many pieces. I'll pick out the ones that have the higher retail, that are the ones that I think look good, and I'm going to give it a shot. So here we have it. I'm giving it a shot. We'll see what happens.
We're all about experiments. Small,
Yes.
attainable, like don't stress you out experiments. We don't want anybody to put anything in jeopardy or overextend yourself in any way. That's why we do believe so much in consignment and not having all that out there. So when you do these types of experiments, we love experiments. We love hearing like, oh, I tried, like Jill and her junk lots. Like I tried this for a couple months and I did this. Like, love it. But don't make it so that it's hard on yourself and you're stressing if those things don't sell. You made this huge mistake. That's not the kind of experiments we want to hear about.
And know
you
that
always implement profit first. Go listen to our episodes on profit first, or join the book club, so that you are always operating with cash. And when I say cash, I don't mean not a debit card. I mean, you have the money set aside based on how much you're bringing in, and you know how much you have to source with. It is an incredible solution. If you're feeling scared or hesitant or like you're going to overspend, it's the solution.
And remember, when times get tight, there's always consignment. We are your consignment gurus. If you are not already set up for it, we are your people. You can find us. We shall help you get yourself set up. All right. I hope that this gave some people some tips and some ideas. I think the biggest thing is learn from others and learn from your mistakes and stay in your budget.
Thrift, find, flip. Go watch.
Follow Thrift, find, flip. More videos to come. Follow all those that you love, and let us know in the comments any things that you may have learned or some bolos or some goodies you found.
Yeah.
And have you been to an auction before? That's what I want to know. There's so many people that are scared of auctions. I want to know that. All right, ladies, until next time.
Cheers. Thank you for joining Libby, Molly, and Samantha, the ladies of Consignment Chats, as we grow your reselling business. For all things Consignment Chats, visit us at consignmentchats.com and join our free private communities on Facebook and/or Patreon.